Right under the grass beneath your feet, more living creatures are breathing than there are stars in the entire visible universe. And nobody built them a name. A single teaspoon of healthy soil holds close to 1 billion bacteria, several miles of fungal thread, and thousands of species science still hasn't gotten around to naming. Decomposers work first. Worms, mites, beetles, the Empire's garbage collectors, tearing dead leaves into smaller and smaller pieces until nothing recognizable is left for anyone to notice. Beneath them, fungal threads stretch for 100 meters inside a single gram of soil, wrapping around plant roots and trading minerals for sugar in a billion-year-old deal. Bacteria are the most abundant thing down there, pulling nitrogen straight out of thin air and turning it into the exact form every plant on Earth needs to survive. Put simply, soil isn't dirt. It's a nation of trillions that has been quietly feeding every human being who has ever lived, since long before there were trees. Here's the twist. Roughly a third of the planet's farmland is now degraded, and every single year we lose 24 billion tons of fertile soil to erosion. Soil doesn't grow back on a human timescale. Nature needs centuries to build 1 single centimeter, and a single bad harvest season can strip that centimeter away completely. In the fastest eroding regions, soil is disappearing 10 to 40 times faster than nature can rebuild it, and most people living there have no idea it's happening. The first cause is plowing, turning soil into loose particles that wash away in rain and wind, shredding the fungal networks that quietly took years to build. The second cause is monoculture, planting the same single crop across enormous fields year after year, starving the soil of diversity the same way one food would starve you. The third cause is chemical overuse. Synthetic fertilizer boosts one harvest fast, but heavy use quietly kills the bacteria doing the real work, so next year needs even more. It becomes a treadmill with the ground getting thinner every single lap, farmers spending more on chemicals each season just to coax out the same shrinking harvest as before. This isn't only a farming problem. Healthy soil stores more carbon than every forest and the entire atmosphere combined. And degraded soil doesn't just stop storing it, it releases it. Healthy soil also acts like a sponge, soaking up rainfall before it floods a town, while degraded soil sheds that same water instead, making both droughts and floods worse. So the empire under your feet isn't a side character in the climate story. It might be one of the main characters we somehow forgot to write in. Here's the part almost nobody expects. Unlike most planetary damage, soil is one of the only ecosystems that can fully recover within a single human lifetime. Farmers switching to no-till methods have rebuilt soil, carbon and fungal networks in under a decade, sometimes in as little as 5 years. Planting cover crops between growing seasons keeps living roots in the ground year-round, feeding the exact bacteria and fungi that synthetic fertilizer had been quietly starving out. Rotating diverse crops, instead of repeating the same one, restores the mineral balance in the soil, the same way varying your own diet keeps your body running well. Some regenerative farms already match or beat conventional yields within just a few years, using a fraction of the chemical input their neighbors still depend on today. This isn't a future technology we're still waiting on. It's already happening on real working farms right now, quietly, without needing headlines or breakthroughs. If that shift spread across a third of degraded farmland worldwide, it could pull carbon underground at a scale most climate plans never consider. You don't need a farm to matter here. Composting kitchen scraps and skipping unnecessary pesticides at home feeds the exact same underground empire that feeds you. So the next time you're standing barefoot on grass, remember you're standing on the roof of a civilization older than the dinosaurs themselves, still quietly working below. We spent the last century treating the ground beneath us like dirt, something in the way, something to plow through, something that simply didn't matter. We're only now learning it was never dirt at all. It was the empire that has fed every single meal you've ever eaten without asking for credit. The soil isn't finished. It's waiting to see whether we keep treating it like a resource to exhaust or a partner we finally learn to work with. Every footstep you take crosses a city larger than any built by humans. And for the first time, we're finally starting to notice it's even there. That's the empire living under your feet. Invisible, ancient, and if we're smart about the next decade, nowhere near finished writing its story.